Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Cauldron with me, Buffy, and my brother from another mother, my WT, my Wonder Twin, Jim Spillin. Did everybody miss us? Look, we've been gone for so long, bro.
They probably don't. We probably need name placards to put in front of us so they know who we are.
Do you think we do that? We need to do that?
We may have to. Jesus,
I am. Hello, my name is. Oh, gosh. How have you been?
Oh, things been good. Yeah,
Good.
things been good. Can't complain about anything. Kids are all doing well. Everybody's happy. I don't owe anybody any money. They're not begging me for money.
Well, shit. You want to trade places with me?
No.
And people begging me for money every day.
I want to keep the only 2 quarters I got.
Oh, yeah. So you can rub them together? Of course.
Here, that's all I can do. I can pay for parking for 5 minutes. Ready? Go.
Hurry up.
Don't delay.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, gosh. I think we're all in the same boat here, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
I missed doing the show with you. I really did.
Yeah, it's been like one thing after the other to be able to even do the show. And then when it comes up, it's like something comes up that we have to say, no, we can't do it.
Well, lifes. That's how it does.
Yeah.
It just lifes. StreamYard, and I'm just typing in here, corner Cauldron. Pardon us. We're a little verklempt tonight. Talk amongst yourselves here. Oh. By the time people read this, we'll be done and over.
Yeah, I made the mistake. Like I'm using my laptop to be on screen, but if I want to go up to where my information I saved for the show, it'll bump me out. So I'm copying everything over from this one to another one, so I can see my stuff.
See, this is don't ever do podcasts, people, because this is what happens. As much as you think you are prepared, you are never prepared for anything. But we love doing our podcast. I love doing our podcasts. Between you and Jen, you make life bearable for me sometimes.
Oh,
you really do. You really do.
That's a good. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. I had something I wanted to.
You had something? While Jim is preparing himself. Look at my cup that I got at the
Enough sage for that shit. I love it.
This is from courtesy of the Crystal Wand at Gettysburg. Thank you, Karen. If she's watching, thank you, Karen. Lucy is in the house. Hey, Lucy. I love Lucy. How's Lucy doing? Everybody good?
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just pretend I'm not even here.
I heard you say, "Hey, Lucy's in chat," and so how's Lucy doing? How's everybody doing? And I'm like, "Oh, she's talking to Lucy now." Okay, give me a second here to type on the computer. Then all of a sudden, the dead air, and I'm like, "No,
I'm okay. Just don't pay attention.
I'm supposed to be talking right now."
Yes. Pay attention. Do not pay attention to the chunky woman behind the curtain. That's
yeah. Me and Lucy, we went down to Hatteras last week with a buddy of mine and his girlfriend.
How was that?
It was good. It was really good.
Did you stay out of the weather?
Yep. It wasn't. It was just bad enough, but it wasn't bad enough to keep us in the house. So we were able to hit some restaurants and go out and do a couple things and some shops. And then Thursday and Friday, we were on the beach, and Luce went shelling with my buddy's girlfriend for a couple hours.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, it was a great trip. Very good trip.
I was worried about you guys because we up here. You guys are built different down south. I mean, Tim knows that. You're already prepared for everything, and we're up here, screaming about 2 snowflakes on the ground. That's how we do.
Yeah.
But I
Plus,
was
I'm gonna be
concerned.
late. I'm gonna be late for work. I got 2 snowflakes on my front
Two
step.
snowflakes. Hurry up! Get all the bread and the milk. Steal all the bread. Steal all the gallons of milk. Steal all the eggs. Because apparently, the only thing that separates you between life and death is French toast. That's all. Just French toast. So we've been holding this topic for quite a while. I told Tim it's been about a month that we've been holding this topics, and I Tim asked if did Jimmy go down any rabbit holes, and I said he's had plenty of time to go down lots of rabbit holes with us.
Now, I didn't get that deep. Like I said, we were in Hatters last week, and then uh,
Well, you know, you
it's
could do
cool.
like we do. We always wing it. We wing it.
Man, we come up with some good wings.
We do come up with some good wings, and that's who we are.
And
As
how's everything been with you?
Oh my, well, everything has been hunky dory with me
I hate that word.
until this past weekend.
Oh shit.
Yours truly has shingles.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh, buff.
Yep.
Oh shit.
So we are dealing with the shingles. Um Localized, which is a godsend. But I'll tell you what, if you've ever had the shingles, people, 100%, 1,000% do not recommend. Uh it's like your body has been lit on fire with gasoline, and the amount of immense itching, you know, just terrible. Terrible, terrible. And of course it's because, if you'd had chicken pox as a kid, which a great majority of us our age has,
Right.
there is always the possibility of you getting shingles, which is kind of looks like chicken pox, but they're in a straight line. And oh, look, he's changing his background again.
I'm up
Put your
against a
back
brick
against the
wall.
wall, sir, and put your hands up. Anything in your pockets? Anything in your pockets? So yes, yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. But before we get on with our topic, I can tell you that you know how I tote about the small mom and pops, and I did a thing for about Carrie and the Tree of Life shop, and Gus Fink and Emmy Boz, their art. This thing, this chill baby, this stuff here by Carrie, and
Right.
this little light of mine, skincare products. This is like a mentholated lotion, but it
Oh.
finishes like it smells like baby powder when it finishes. Has been a godsend for the burning.
Oh, good.
I told Tim, I said, this is going to go. I found it, and it was at desperate times. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I looked at this jar and said, well, who would I be if I didn't take chances? This is either going to go, really good, or go really, really bad, really fast. And you're going to see me stop, drop, and roll like I'm on fire.
Oh no.
But it worked. It worked. It sequesters some of the or tampons down some of the burning, which is good.
Okay.
Yeah. So do not recommend getting shingles.
Yeah,
They
me
don't
and
know how long it'll take.
we actually went up to when the COVID was out and about, and we got our shots. I saw the shingles shot offered at
Yep.
Walgreens
Yep.
for free. So Lucid
Yes.
had talked to a couple of clients that she had, and they have it, and it's nasty. And I said,
Yes.
let's go get our COVID, or let's go get shingles. So we both got both shingle shots. It doesn't guarantee, but it gives you like a 95% chance of not getting it.
Yep. Well, guess who's getting one next year?
Now, will
This
that
girl.
since
Right here.
you've had the shingles, will that do anything?
No, it's just that the shingles, once you get, it doesn't mean that you can't continuously get them. Once you've had them once, the shingles, it just heightens your chance of possibly getting them again. You can get them multiple times. It doesn't matter, and on different parts of your body.
Oh yes, yeah.
So
Luce was telling me one guy got it up around the eye.
my grandmother had them in her eye. She had
Oh,
them and on her back and down the back of her neck. And this was years ago. I was about 15 when she had them. And I watched her rock like a crazy person. That was one strong ass Italian woman who never let anything bother her. I
right.
think that was the first time I ever saw her cry because the pain was so bad.
Cool.
So, but I know how it is. Any hoodles, we're not here to talk about shingles.
No.
Uh, we are here to talk about a topic tonight that not many people know of this topic. And if you do, kudos to you. Um, we are going to be talking about dark empaths versus just your plain garden variety empath. So, um, what is the difference between said empaths? And what does that mean for certain zodiac signs?
Yes.
So, I'm gonna let you go first with some of the research that you found, as far as the dark empaths and the differences between regular empaths or garden variety, I guess you want to call them, or the dark empaths.
So the empath is I was finding when I was doing the research is
Mm-hmm.
that I'm used to that I've always been around. Not knowing that there was this. Actually, there's about 12 varieties of empaths, but
Mm-hmm.
there's really only about three or four that stay within human beings. The rest are like you could be a tree or floral empath, just whatever you gravitate to. You can be an empath for that.
Right.
And simply put, the way I understand it, and the way the research got is an empath is basically a person who can sense and feel what another person may or may not is going through. And
Right.
typically, empaths up until we got into this, I always saw them as kind, helping individuals. And when
Mm-hmm.
you look at that, you got one empath sitting right there on the screen with us, Buffy. She can sense people's feelings. But she'll take it and she'll go helpful with everything. And that's the kind of
Yeah.
person she is. The term empath was actually coined. Where's my time at? In 1909 by Edward Titchener,
Mm-hmm.
a British psychologist.
Yep.
It's a German word. There's also another one out there. Was that the other one I had it? Go back. Oh, you son of a gun. I knew this would start happening to me. I
Uh-oh.
lost it. But
Spaghettios.
it also comes from a Greek word empathia, which translates to it's feeling. Um, the one way I can say, the simplest way I can say that I understand an empath to be is, have you ever walked in a room somewhere and right off the bat you sense like everybody's depressed or
Yeah.
they're happy, or there's one person in the room that's kind of like everybody else says, man, it's giving off weird vibes. Well, that's
Yep.
basically an empath. I mean, I think we all are an empath to some degree, because you can pick up things. And now a lot of it is the climate and the environment that you walk into. You walk into the environment. There's a thing I heard: you can be the thermostat or you can be the thermometer.
Mm-hmm.
The thermostat sets the room. The thermometer just reads the room. So basically, you're a thermometer and you're reading the room as what's going on. Like I said, traditionally, empaths are kind, generous, helpful people who take on a lot of weight
Yep.
when they get into something like that, because basically what they're doing is they're meeting the feelings or the energy of the person that they're trying to talk to or help in any fashion or way. Um,
Right.
Now, a dark empath, and really is more of a narcissist. Is just they are. There's one thing I found interesting: an empath can feel everything that a client. We'll use the term client tonight. it's going
Right.
through, so you can apply help. A dark empath gets to read but doesn't feel what the person's going through. So if
Mhm.
they're let's say they're going through a depression period, they may they know what the person's going through on the read and everything, but they're not feeling that depression. So give them a sense of kindness or help, and then they'll use that to manipulate and get stuff out of somebody, or make somebody not feel good about this, or make somebody not feel good about that. So the dark empath really is just what it is. It's a mean, wicked person that's
Mhm.
just going to dig into your soul or into your feelings and basically expose you for their needs.
Mhm.
Now, the I just lost that train of thought. The dark empath, it will also, like I said, is a narcissist type. Is not willing there to be helpful at all. Not no way on the screen earth do they want to help that person. They want to um, expose that person or
Mhm.
take advantage of that person for what they're doing. And um, so they came. That's how. Bear with me, Buff. Sorry.
That's
The
okay.
but like I said, they're high level. They're also they're intelligent too. I mean, they're no dummies.
No
But
doubt.
one thing that I found interesting is, and me and Buffy did a case, and she'll remember the case I'm talking about once I get there. Because an empath can do good for a person, but they know there's a price to pay when they do good for the person.
Yes.
There's a piece that can be taken. Now my understanding is the piece can be just because you have to endure what you did with the person, or there might be something that you have to do that kind of strikes a little piece of you on being an
Mhm.
empath. It's the empath gets to do their work, but not for free. They do it
Right.
kind of what I saw. They kind of do it on the good side or the bad side.
Mhm.
The bad side has absolutely no heart, in my opinion, and they're
Mhm.
going to do whatever they want to do when they want to, however they want to.
Mhm.
So, but they, like I said, they have high levels of narcissism, psychopaths, um, guilt tripping of people around them, cruel jokes at their expenses, gossiping
Mhm.
behind, being vindictive or bullying others. And that's information
Mhm.
that a good empath, like Buffy will tell you, she's gotten from people, but she does it for the good. She went and run over to, hey, did you hear what Jim? I just found out. I got Jim to tell me. Da, 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 da. Now,
Yeah. No.
now you're being nasty. Um, so, like I said, I think the term was because, like I said, the term was coined in 1905 or 1905 or 1909 um, by a German philosopher and the other philosopher I just talked about. But it never really became not. I'll use the word science. It's not really a science. It never became like a guidance or help recognition to like the it goes back as far as the 18th century I saw, and it does also go, but it really doesn't come to light until I think it was like 1959
Mhm.
when it really started coming about when people, because I think that's when you're starting to get all your um, I can't think of the one clairvoyant. I'm sure she was an empath, famous Hollywood one. I can't think of her name right now.
Oh, you mean Sylvia Brown?
Yeah, it might have been Sylvia Brown. But yeah, so you just have to, and then the way you want to see, maybe you want to try and recognize the difference you see. Am I a good empath or am I looking at a dark empath?
Mhm.
Well, the things you want to do, it's kind of like it's self-preservation. Read the room.
Yeah.
When the person's talking to you, what are they doing? How are they? Are they saying stuff that they really mean, or are they saying stuff that you're picking up, going like, I don't understand why you're asking me that type of question
Mhm.
when I'm telling you this, and now they're starting to fish. It's almost like I hate to use the analogy, but it's almost like email. But are you getting a phishing scam? Or are you getting somebody trying to steal your information? And that's what
Yep.
their dark will do. That's what the dark empath will do.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
so you just got to, even though you found the person introduces himself as an empath to you and says they're going to be helpful, you still have to be on guard and don't say, okay, I'm in good hands now, because you just don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
So, but that's what I found on, and also I found out the environment, because it was like, how can somebody become an empath was one of my curiosities. Like, are you born with it? Is it something you develop? That you sit there and just meditate in a room for 5 or 10 minutes to try and say, hey, let me clear my head, get my senses about me, and try and make this stuff all work for me. The
Mm-hmm.
environment that you grow up in really means a lot. And one of the examples I saw, if you were raised in a nurturing, kind family, most likely you are going to be just what you were raised at, so you will become a good empath. But if you're
Right.
raised in that troubled environment, the constant arguing and bickering, or people getting hurt, or words being shouted, then you'll pick up, and that could lead you down the path of being a dark empath.
Mm-hmm.
So I think between the two, if a person understands what an empath, in my opinion, his real job is to talk to people, help people, get them through tough times. Hats off to you, Buff, because I know you take a lot of phone calls. I know you get a lot of people that, like, hey, I know who I can call, and all of a sudden it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, there's a scathing email the next day out on Facebook. Hey, look, people, you can't call me at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get it, and then I don't mean that in a mean, nasty way. I mean you do it in a
Oh,
nice
well.
way with
Yeah.
everybody, and you do. You're patient with it.
Yeah.
So I think a person can make themselves, if they recognize their abilities to be an empath, number one, um, then I think they make the choice at some point in time. They go, oh, I can get some really neat shit if we over here if I act like this, or do I just really want to be helpful and help somebody over here? So I think that they can create and make themselves a dark empath, almost like on their own free will. They have everything they need. They recognize their abilities. They recognize they can pick up the room or the person, and they get the person talking. So also, a lot of dark empaths, I didn't think of this, are really extroverts. I mean, they're just very outgoing, very talkative. They want to get to know
Yeah.
you. So that's another key sign. It's like, you've been introduced to an empath. Number one, I would say, do your research. Just because I introduced you to an empath doesn't mean I gave you a good one. Doesn't mean I didn't recognize I was sending maybe a bad one your way. But you should do the research and know what an empath is,
Yeah.
what their abilities, are or documented to be able to do, and your own gut. I mean, there's nothing better on this planet than your gut feeling. If you're sitting there and telling somebody your stories, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't know if I should be telling you this much, or something's just not feeling right here. Let me just pull back a little bit, and then
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I was finding on dark and dark versus empath. Like I said, there's a bunch of other empaths that we could go into, but I think primarily tonight we're just going to be like, what's the difference between that dark and what's the difference between a good empath? And again, it goes to really another analogy you can use is, which wolf are you going to feed? Am I going to feed the dark, or am I going to feed the light? Everything really comes down to that when you really think about it. An empath will help guide you through things. Um, if you're able to, if you feel comfortable talking to them when you've met them. But it's
Mm-hmm.
really, we've talked about this time and time again, and Tim's been on, and you guys have talked about it. It's what wolf you want to feed, regardless of almost anything you get into. It's what wolf do you want to feed, and again, know what you're feeding that wolf. Know it. But that's what I found out for a term into the old digging around for this topic.
Yeah. You pretty much did it justice and hit the nail on the head as far as dark empaths. Dark empaths, there, let's clarify first, because I don't, from my personal opinion, I don't think that you could learn to be an empath. It's either you are or you aren't.
Okay.
That's just the way it is. Everyone has the capability of being empathetic. I shouldn't say everybody. There are some people that are born with like serious mental issues, like the psychopaths, those serial killers who will have absolutely no remorse once they're caught, and would happily do it again, have absolutely no problem. Um, everybody or I should say most people, have a capability of being empathetic. Think of the term of being empathetic towards someone's towards someone's situation, or the plight of the world as it stands today, and how things are with what's going
Right.
on out there in the world. And you can be empathetic to their situation, and that's normal. When you talk about somebody who is a downright empath, take that and magnify it by 1,000. uh, we are people that can walk into a room where there's nothing there and immediately pick up on the emotion of the room. Uh, we can do this because when there have been moments or situations or things that have happened, whether it be a huge fight, whether it be a death or a birth of someone in that room, a birthday, a celebration, an anniversary, good times, good memories. Um, that all of that is energy.
Mhm.
Everything you do is energy. Period. Even breathing
Right.
is energy. And if you spend enough time in a room, the things that are porous in the room, like the walls, the wallpaper, the carpet, the floor, wood, anything that's made out of like a cement material, things of that nature soak up that vibration. They soak up the energy. And we can tell immediately that either a fight, I don't like to go in this room. I don't want to go in this room because I just feel panicked. I feel like my heart is beating way too fast, like something popped off in this room and it wasn't anything good because it's
Right.
making the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Um, or they'll feel immediate joy and they'll be like, wow, there was some really good things that happened in this room. And I
Mhm.
feel a lot of joy. I feel happy tears. I feel celebration, laughing, and having a good time. Um, Empaths can walk past someone and immediately know every trauma that they have suffered, everything that they've ever felt before they've even opened their mouth.
Mhm.
And true empaths will take that and we wear it like a cloak
Oh yeah.
and we swim in it to the point where if it is strong enough, we will mimic that person's emotional state
Mhm.
and not even know whether it's us or them that's feeling that. Empaths have a very hard time releasing all of that. If you don't, you can physically get sick. You can get sick. You can mentally get ill. Uh, just wore the hell out. That is why I say to all my empaths that I come across that they need to do exercises because what happens, I explain it as a vase. All right, you take that vase and you put it under the faucet to put water in it, but you don't shut the faucet off. What happens?
Right.
It
Overload.
overflows, and then you start acting like that person's emotional state. Then it leaks into your everyday life. Your kids can see it, the husband sees it, the wife sees it, the cats see it, the dogs see it, everybody sees it. And you are starting to act unlike yourself.
Mhm.
That is when you definitely need to do what we call release. We call earth walking. We call grounding. Earth walking and grounding are the same thing. Very same thing. Little techniques different here, there, it doesn't matter. And we are taught to get rid of that which no longer serves us. Um, by doing that, by doing what we call ritual burnings,
Mhm.
and my good friends Carrie Hopper and Aaron Bush can talk to you about doing ritual burnings. They do ritual burnings. They've taught people on their YouTube channel how to do ritual burnings, and that's a great thing. I suggest it if you're a hard empath, do it once a month. Go out to that fire pit and grab yourself a copybook from the dollar store or the $1.25 store anymore, the Dollar General. Dollar
Dollar
General.
store, $1.25 now.
And yeah, and write down every emotion that you are feeling. Write it down on a piece of paper. Nobody's going to grade it, so you can draw pictures, you can yell, you can scream, you can use expletives, bad words. What you're going to do is then you're going to build yourself that fire pit, or even if it's a barbecue, it doesn't matter, or a fire safe pot that you have away from your house. Everybody, fire safety first. Let's all remember this. Fire safety first.
Only you
Um,
can prevent forest
you
fires.
can only, yes. Oh, yes, Smokey. Tell us all about it. Um,
But you know what? Those
and,
following up to what you're saying right there too, Buck. When somebody's creating that burn, and they write down every feeling, would
mm,
you recommend? And I think I would recommend. I'm not an empath, but I'm just saying based on what I've sound here and talk with
uh,
you and everything. Would you recommend them putting down not so much like emotion was high, stressed out, like put that what triggered that emotion? Like I was walking
yes.
through the store, I was walking behind this couple at the mall where I had a they had hot dog at the fair and it just like everything. So put down what has triggered it to help release.
Yes.
Don't just say because I think you would review before you burn. You go like, okay, this is going. I'm giving all these burns up, but I know what I'm giving up, and you're not leaving anything behind because I believe that even even if you journal, if you don't do that correctly to get rid of all your feelings, you're still going to leave lingering parts. And
Yes.
Buffy will be the first one to tell you when she does things with our past groups. If she doesn't do this, like she said, grounded, walking. She's going out when we've done the case and you just grab hold of a tree. I know the biggest term in everybody's head sometimes, oh, there's a tree hugger. Well, it's a cleansing method and it helps get rid of it.
Yeah.
But you're doing it right at the moment in time. But when you're journaling and you get home at the end of the day, you go, man, this really pissed me off today. And this, but what made me mad and why did I freak out? Or what made me sad? Why did I freak out? You got to write that stuff down,
Yeah.
help you so you get a cleaning slate. That
Yeah.
would be my thing, not jumping in there on you, but when you said that, I just
No, no. Yeah.
put that out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good thing. Write down what caused you to feel like that. Where were you when that happened? Um, and then once you've done all that, you're gonna get yourself a little drinky drink, a cocktail, or if you are of not the cocktail variety, a cup of hot cocoa, coffee, tea, water, whatever you like, soda,
Never works.
uh, juice, whatever works. And you are gonna go outside and you're gonna light that fire pit, light that barbecue, and you are then going to crumple that piece of paper, those pieces of paper, doesn't matter how many, crumple them up. And you're effectively going to say that these emotions that I wrote down at one point served a purpose.
Right.
And I am now releasing myself from every emotional state, every feeling, uh every unnecessary thing that no longer serves me, and I'm giving it back. Let's say alcohol, fire and alcohol don't mix, according to Rachel Zuckus. I with some people I agree with that, Rachel. Um, but and then and say it with meaning. Say it with meaning.
Right.
Get mad, cry. This is you. This is you releasing it. I want you to, people are afraid to cry. Native Americans used to be, or still some of them, some of the elders are very shocked that the white man and white people don't cry. That the boys are taught not to cry and hold it all in because they're the man. No, no. Crying is the soul's way or the spirit's way of washing itself clean of everything that it was, junked up with.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to take that piece of paper. And once you've said that and say, I finally released myself, I lay down the weight that is not mine that I've been carrying. I also lay down my own weight, the weight that you caused yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to toss it into the fire and you're going to watch it go up in smoke. And that smoke represents going back to the universe, all those bad feelings, everything you felt that wasn't yours, going back to the universe and going back to where it belongs. And then once you do that, you're going to do a little dance, get a little happy, and dance around a little bit. And then you're going to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Some people choose to scream as they're exhaling. I mean, if you're in a wooded area and you're all by yourself and people aren't going to think that you're being murdered, sure, go ahead and do it. That's another way of releasing all that pent up junk. And taking those 3 deep breaths and then just sitting back and enjoying the fire is your body's way of recovering.
Oh, yeah.
Of getting rid of everything that's not yours, of all the junk that you stored up. It is very important for empathic people to do that, because if not, they'll go nuts. Mm-hmm. They will go nuts. You will make yourself physically sick doing that and keeping it in.
Right. And I think what the people, what everybody needs to understand, and our family chat here knows that, but anybody's listening and we're not familiar with, is when you do, they don't understand that when you do empath work, what you're taking on.
Yeah.
I don't think they realize that, and they're all like, I'll be okay. I don't have to do this or that or anything like that. I can just, no, because you're chewing away at yourself.
Yeah.
And so what you do is look at the end of the day when I've done helping with somebody, or I've done a class with somebody, or I've done a reading with somebody. It's time to say yourself too. You can't just let yourself go off to nilly-nilly.
You can't. It's very important to take care of yourself as a person, and to be able to feel your own feelings. That's very important on how to release that which is not yours. After that, I would recommend doing, now this is for Witchies 101, doing a reclaiming spell or a calling back. There is a spell that I use that always worked for me, has always worked for my other clients. And it's a calling back of your own energy. And I won't go through it all because it's kind of lengthy, but it involves saying, I call my energy back to me from all persons, places, things, entities, portals, dimensions where I left it. I'm calling it back. That you can actually, it's kind of funny to say that you can actually train your energy to come back to you like a dog.
Really?
All you got to do is call it back to you. Yo, where are you going? No, come back here. Nope. Because every time you do something around people, or you do something, anything, period, or you've had a bad day, or you've had to do something frustrating, or any kind of interaction you've had with anything, you leave a little bit of your energy there. It's almost like what we call the Hansel and Gretel effect. You leave breadcrumbs of your energy everywhere you go. It's like Pigpen with the dirt, everywhere you went. You leave around some dirt. So basically, it's like energetic dirt. I kind of found 2 different versions of being dark empaths.
Okay.
The first one was the one that you had stated. And it is those people that know that they are empathic, right? So they will take that and turn it on its head.
Mm-hmm.
And they will use that to their advantage because now they have the upper hand. They know what frightens you, they know what makes you upset. So they can use that and file that in the back of their filing cabinet brain and use it for later for, the bad doings, which is like, getting back at you for something, doing something that is not so nice. The other side of the dark empath that I received an explanation to, which kind of like fits some people, is it that not that they're doing that, they're not taking advantage of people, they're not taking that energy or what they know about that person, that feelings, or what they know about the situation, and keeping it to do harm. It's those people that immediately pick up on trauma. It's the first thing they do. There could have been weddings that went on in that room, births in that room. There was one murder or one, I don't know, beat down in that room or one argument, and they pick up on that first before anything else. And that may turn a person into a healer. Is that those kinds of people that do that can actually use that for good and become healers or energy healers, trauma healers, people that work with people energetically to kind of heal that a little bit at a time with someone. And it's not, there was one person that has been on TikTok, been on Facebook, social media, and I don't know what color her first name is, but it's Swan. And this is a woman who charges lots of money for people to sit in big convention centers and listen to her, watch her stand up on a throne, and wear flouncy clothes that, look cool, and she's about this big around. And the first thing she says is that there's no such thing as an empath, that an empath is someone who has had trauma done to them. And that is just a trauma response to be looking for the first exit in a room. Mm-hmm. That is, if you think that is all that an empath is, then you are sadly mistaken. Then you, ma'am, are not an empath, and you should not be teaching anything about empaths to a room full of people who may be. Because now you're making them feel like they're nuts because they've been through some kind of trauma. Everybody's been through a trauma.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody on this planet has been through a trauma. I don't care whether it's been a divorce, losing a child, losing a husband, a car accident, a near-death experience, losing the job of your dreams. That's a trauma.
Right.
That's a
trauma. So let me ask you this, Buff.
Yeah.
So you say you have this person here that's trying to teach or instruct or train empaths, yeah. And we say, you're not an empath. You're not. Could that be the start of a dark empath?
Yes. Yes.
There's doing it so far. What you said there is describing everything we've already talked about. That would start up the dark empath.
Yep. That is somebody who is then taking that as an empath, using it toward, and let me preface this by saying I don't know whether she is one. I didn't stay long enough. I choose not to be around her social media at all. She has thousands of followers. That, to me, in my opinion, and in my opinion only, mm-hmm. Make this very clear, in my opinion only, has hornswoggled people.
Right.
Into paying her hundreds of dollars to sit there and use their trauma against them.
Right.
And say, you're just being silly. You just suffered a trauma. Just because you lived a traumatic childhood, Everything has danger in it. And the minute you walk into a room full of people, more than two people, you're scoping the place out for every exit that you can run to. That is not true. And I beg to differ greatly. Um, Everybody has been through a trauma in their life. Bottom line, point blank, period. I don't care.
It's the nature of the beast.
Uh, that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has been through a trauma in their life. I don't care a diddly squat about that.
And,
there are people that are just
my thing to that, when you talk about trauma, well,
mm-hmm.
then you chose not to correct whatever caused that trauma. You chose to carry it on in your life and continue moving forward with that affecting you. And
yeah,
I mean, me and Lucy have had conversations, and I've told her about stuff when I was growing up that I refused to let happen.
right.
And if you want to call it what it was that I was getting away from trauma, okay. But either way, I made a step to how I wanted to correct the problem. So whether you were raised nurturing, or like I said earlier, or in like an abusive household,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it's going to impact you. It's going to define who you are if you let it. Same
Correct.
thing with being an empath. If you want to be an empath and you know you're an empath, I say be a good one. Don't be a bad empath, because then you're letting that trauma that got you at 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever it was, control you now that you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or whatever. If you don't make that correction, you're in for nothing but pain and suffering. And you're going to give it to other people, and you're going to give other people misguidance on, well, I was at Missy's class on empaths, and she said this, this, and this, so I did that, that, and that, and now I feel like crap. I can't. So yeah,
Right.
trauma. I'm with you. Everybody's had the trauma. Everybody's had some kind of trauma.
Yeah.
And look at, and I would say, look who's all around you.
Yeah.
He's fine, she's fine, they're fine. We have a good time when we're all together.
Yeah.
So I didn't let it affect me or continue to affect me.
Yeah. Bottom line to that whole thing is don't be an asshole. I'm going to be honest. You know what? And I just saw the word across the screen on my thing because I'm watching you guys on Facebook and it said dot. Yeah. Don't be a friggin' asshole.
Right.
Bottom line, something very simple.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone has the propensity to either use their gift for good or use it for evil. Just like you said, and Tim has told us, it depends on which one you're going to feed that day. You can either view it as a gift, and use it to help other people, guide them, and help them with energy healing, and trauma healing through their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can use it and take advantage of somebody with that. And that's terrible. That's terrible. I kind of find myself in that split the difference as a person. There are times when the first thing I pick up on is the trauma.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But I step back and I try to view the forest through the trees kind of thing, and take a moment and say, okay, we're going to push back past this. We've identified this. Okay, boom, put that over here. Let's look at the whole big picture of what else is happening here. And then work with that. You will see a lot of times with me being an empath, I will put my hand on the wall of a house and out loud ask it to tell its story to me. Tell me your story. And that's putting your hand on something can sometimes, being an empath, if you're not strong enough, if you have to put your hand on the wall, that sometimes helps give you a better feel of what happened in the room, or just rubbing the wall. with your hand, doing back and forth, or sitting against it, putting your back towards it. Um, it's more than just reading a room.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I do readings at Tree of Life Shop or anywhere I'm at, I immediately tell the client, I put the box of tissues up on the table and they say, well, I don't need any of those. I said, that's fine. They're there for a purpose, because a lot of the times, I'm going to tell you right now, being an empath, you just bought yourself a ticket to the choo-choo trauma trigger train. All aboard. Because if there is trauma there, I'm gonna know it before you say it. My spirit guides are gonna pick up on it, and then we're gonna have to and understand that it comes from a space of grace, where spirit is trying to help you get rid of all that dead weight that you haven't forgiven, or you haven't forgotten or put to bed, that you've been carrying. You've been turtling your entire life, and you wonder why you're sick. You can't hold a job. You lost your girlfriend. You lost a boyfriend. Your wife or your husband left. You took the car, took the dog, took the cat, took the bird, the goldfish, the house, everything. It is because you are not willing to let go of things and stand in a space of grace, or a moment of grace. And a lot of it, and they will tell you, if I've had all my clients here, they would tell you in a hot minute that a lot of the times I tell them it requires you forgiving someone who is nailing you to a cross that you were never meant to bear. So, and when I say forgiveness, everybody goes, I'm not going to forgive that SOB, blah, 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 blah. Hold up there, sister. I'm going to ask you to pump the brakes on this one. Air brakes, please. Not forgiveness for them so much, but forgiveness for you, because you didn't know any better and you kept dragging it. This is 30 years down the road. You're still dragging it. Get rid of that ball and chain, because you can't move forward as a spiritual light being or as a person until you drop that ball and chain that you got wrapped around your ankle,
Right.
that you yourself have punished yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't be doing that. Don't.
But the person has also got to be smart enough to realize what's dragging them down. They can't.
Very true.
You can't just.
Very true.
You just can't just not acknowledge whatever it is.
Say, drop it. I just can't say drop it.
Yeah, just let her go.
Let her go. What exactly am I letting go? You guys are gonna take a walk with me, because I forgot my my charger from my phone. So we're gonna take a walk. You're gonna get the nickel tour of
the Buffyville.
Yeah, the Buffy world, which is not all exciting. I mean, it can be if you want it to be, but we're just gonna hang out. And there's my charger that I forgot. And we're going to try and not trip over the cat.
Okay.
Because that's a terrible thing. And she's standing out in the hallway, and then she'll do zigzags around me. Until I go back into the room. Yeah. So I kind of find myself in the middle of that situation, where I see the trauma first and then work my way around it, which is not a bad thing. I mean, that's not a terrible thing at all, to be totally honest. Recognizing it as just one facet of a lot of things is a good thing. Now, with that being said, and I know I'm getting long-winded here.
You're good.
But I will tell you that there are multiple zodiac signs that have a propensity for being dark empaths. Did you know that?
Really? I did not come across that.
Yes. And Kel surprise, everybody hold your hats, keep your skivvies on,
and
don't lose your ever-loving mind, But
Here we
Kel's
go.
surprise, all the water signs are a part of that. So Scorpios, number one, that's a water sign. They are not a land sign, they are a water sign. Don't get it twisted. Um Scorpios are known for being intense, very intense people, and mysterious. They sometimes will not have many friends because they are that intense. So,
Okay.
because some people will feel that they're too intense. Like, dang, you don't have to be that intense about it. It wasn't that, big of a thing. Stop being overly, you know, extra about it. That will give them a bit of an edge as it comes to that being a dark empath. So the mysterious part and the intense part very much could lead them down the wrong path. Pisces, hello. Have you met me? Pisces. Um we have a propensity for being a dark empath because we we just don't feel things. We just don't have feelings. We feel everything. And it is always to the extreme.
Hmm.
It is never just that, yeah, the person cried. You cry because that person is crying. Nothing ever happened to you, but you just crying because they crying and you have no idea why. That's just how it works. Um, we are the most empathetic zodiac sign of all 12 signs. Uh, Libras are another one. Now, I can tell you about some Libras because let me tell you something. I got some Libras in my family. I got lots of Libras around me, and I will tell you that they say, my Mama Dukes, if you're listening to this, I'm gonna out you, girlfriend.
Oh,
Um,
shit. Here we
yeah,
go.
Libras will say that I love balance, I love justice, I love keeping things at an even keel. You do only when it lands in your favor. These Libras, they're all about justice as long as it's on their side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They like having the upper hand in lots of situations. To get them to unclench their fist sometimes is like Lucy's like, yes, Bobby, yes. um Libra's just to get them to unclench their fist is a very difficult thing to do. Um, the other zodiac signs are Leos. No offense, Tim. We love you, honey. We know you're a Leo. Depends on what part of the zodiac sign you land on being that Leo. There are Leos. And unfortunately, no offense, sir, and I'm not saying I'm not putting you in this category. There are a great majority of Leo men that are vain, love to be the center of attention. They walk into a room like Billy Porter, wearing all sequins and having glitter lipstick on, doing the three snaps up. Yes, they love that, and they love to have that control. They love to have that to throw it at somebody when someone has done them something wrong. They will.
Yeah.
I dated a couple Leos, and this is why we are no longer dating
I am definitely not a Leo.
because of that. Here's another one, Cancers. The Crabbies, Mr. Cancers, Mr. and
Mhm.
Mrs. Cancers. Cancers are also one of the deepest feelers out of the zodiac sign.
Okay.
They love, when they love deeply. If they hate you, well, you better turn right back around and not say a dang word and just walk off into the sunset because there is nothing good coming out of that Cancer's mouth. if you keep asking, but why? No, please do not ask them why. Just walk away. Uh, Cancer will definitely. Uh, Cancers can definitely be gaslighters and narcissists.
Okay.
You know how those narcissists like to turn shit around and make it your
Mm-hmm.
fault. You know, they may have done all the plotting and you're just wrong place, wrong time. And they will look at you and say, "See what you made me do? This is all your fault." Blah blah blah. Yes. Yeah. Nope. 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 Dated a Cancer too. This is why we are no longer together. uh Kind of thing. Tim said, "Yuppers, that's me. Just don't piss me off." Yeah, you don't want to piss a Leo off. You want to hear one roar? Yeah, rah. Yeah, yeah. They have this 0 to 100
Ah, okay.
kind of, yeah. Um, Leos can be also very judgy. Scorpios can be very judgy. You know, I am surprised that there is one zodiac that is not in there amongst the dark empaths, and that's the Virgos. I'm surprised that Virgos aren't in there. Um or Sagittarius, because Sagittarius will is the any chance to fight, hold my pearls, hold my bag, here's my shoes, and I'm taking the wig off. Please don't let it fall on the floor and get dirty. Come out swinging. They don't care. They'll come out swinging, ready to fight. They fighty people. Um, that's dark empaths. You don't want any of those people because we know it before you open your mouth. Again, if you are any of those signs and you are a true empath, please be careful what you are doing with that. Because, karma comes around.
Oh, she's a
You know,
mother.
she is, and it may not be in this lifetime.
Right.
It may never be in this lifetime, but she will hit you. And she may, and it's funny because Carrie and Aaron were talking about this on that was weird on Thursday, talking about karma. And what they said really made sense. And I said this too, that, when that everybody goes to heaven, right? Bottom line, I don't want to talk about people going to hell. This is everybody goes to heaven. I hide when overwhelmed. Yeah, you don't please don't do that a lot, Rachel. Yeah, because then you kind of like you hide and then you think that everybody, it's okay to do that, and sometimes it's not. There are people that are actually trying to help you with when you get rid of that being overwhelmed. But where was I going with this? Oh, when I said everybody goes to heaven, but those who are bad seeds, like, okay, take for example, serial killers, right? And or rapists. Okay. When they pass away, if they have not learned the lesson, when they go to the other side, they are not given a chance to say whether they want to reincarnate or not. They are automatically reincarnated, but they are reincarnated as the mother of the person who was raped, the family of that person that was murdered. And they are meant to feel every ounce of emotional pain that they caused those people. That is payback. It is not being mean. It is to teach the spirit a lesson, to teach the soul a lesson. It's kind of like um, teaching them that ultimate lesson. How do you like it? How do you like it when the show is on the other foot?
Right.
When that child is caught in the crossfire and killed? Your baby. Or you are the one that's raped. Yep. Now you understand how that feels. So yeah, be very careful of what you wish for, because you may get exactly that.
Right.
No one is going to come to your aid. Empaths live a sometimes very solitary life.
I guess you almost kind of, because you have to be on guard for so much. You have so much to take on. One thing I was going to say is also, if anybody's don't, I had this thought all worked out in my head. It sounded good in my brain, but it's not coming out so well. But like, I think some people think empaths are people who are intuitive. There's a lot more to an empath just being intuitive.
Yes.
You can walk in and see like a box of tissues and somebody crying and go, I think we have a sad moment here, as opposed to walking in and going, oh man, who was beating down my brain?
Yeah.
So don't confuse the two. That you were sitting here talking tonight, and you're sitting out there going, hey, when I walked in, I saw that. I figured that. Oh no, you might be headed down the right path. Maybe you are. Who knows? But don't take that intuitive thought to being you are an empath now can go out and just start touching people and seeing their pain.
Just don't go out and reach out and touching people. This is not a Yellow Pages commercial. Reach out and touch someone. No, we're not going to do that.
Right.
It's more of a sense of, if you're good at it and you can hone that gift, you can eventually start picking up words. Like if there was an argument, you can start picking up words.
Right.
Like things that were said.
Well, also the other thing with an empath, we did a case, and there was a guy in the room. The house the apartment that they lived in was above a garage. I don't know if you remember the place or not, but it was a gentleman, was quite a large gentleman, very solid gentleman, probably a woodworker or something like that. But like, you're not going to do anything. When you were talking about the tissues being there, you had him crying inside of like 10 minutes because you had him thinking about his grandfather and the fishing trips that he went on and everything that he missed, and he thought he had all this hoorah pressure down, and you were going to be the person that, oh, you come in here thinking you're an empath and you can tell me things. Okay, well, he kind of did this, and then, like you said, within 5 minutes, I think you were even at tears coming down a little bit because it was getting so
Yeah.
tough. I mean, I've seen the work that you've done, Buff, with being an empath, so I feel like I have an understanding as to what to be cautious about, what to think about. And the signs to look for, like we said earlier, look for how the person's acting. Are they doing it for this, like you said, like Aaliyah, I need to have the attention. Ooh, they're doing it just for that, because there'll be empaths out there, and they're the dark empaths that will do that they just want the attention. They could really give two hootsies about what they're solving, what they're pulling in or draining or whatever. They're just like, they want people to go home from the party because, man, did you see what she could do? And all of a sudden, there she is over in the corner. She's all buffed up because now everybody's like looking at her, going, "Oh, she's got powers."
Yeah, I don't let it get to your head.
Yes.
If don't let it go to your head. I tell everybody, always try to stay humble with the gifts. Please stay humble. Don't.
Well, if you're in the field to help people, you should be humble to begin with.
Yeah.
Because you're not. You're going to take a beating, verbally or mentally, from somebody on some things when you do this kind of work, or if you're an empath. But in my opinion, you should be humble all the way throughout
Yeah.
for it. You know, nothing more, nothing less. It's just because you, when you get into that, like I always see that when we done cases and we got to something that really bothers me. It was a blessing to have Buffy there because she picked up on it right away, and we knew going there. I always thought in my mind, no, I'm going there like something's going to whack sis here, and I don't know how it's going to go, which way it's
We
going
do
to
that
go.
all the
Something's going to whack her when we get there, but let's just
time.
take our time about it and go about it easily and see what's going on. But
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to take on too much or show somebody too much because you might you don't know if you run into that one person that really needs that hand and you go, shit, I'm in a ship and I don't have a lifeboat and we're going
Absolutely.
down fast.
Absolutely. And I have always been very grateful to have and you will hear me often refer to the groups that I've dealt with for a very long time, like Spirit of the Sword, with Jim and Yvonne and Jeff and Bailey, um, I, as family, and that's
Mm-hmm.
because we are family, and we watch it. We watch over each other, um, and when we talk about a symbiotic relationship, or that was something that I got asked about 2 days ago. Friday, I got asked, why do you refer to Jim as your Wonder Twin, your WT? And it's because that's just how we got named Wonder Twins, because I don't even have to say anything to Jim. If we're on a case, I don't have to say a word. I just have to look at him and he'll immediately start laughing or do the oh shit, here we go. Putting on the safety gear, because I know this one is gonna be a rough one.
Right.
And we we take care of each other. I've stood in front of Jim and folded my arms at a demon and said, "Not today. You better pick on somebody else because it ain't gonna be this one. Ain't got time for you today. Not today." And he has stood in front of me, or even just hanging out together as a family kind of thing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, remember that time that you went to Gettysburg with us, and I think it was during the Gettysburg Bash, where I said I needed to go get money out of the ATM, and it was like right across the street.
Right.
But of course, everybody, this was like at 9 o'clock at night, right? And he kept saying, "I don't think that's a really good idea, sis. You sure you want to do that, sis? Why don't you go in the morning, sis?" I'm like, dude, it's across the street. You can watch me from the balcony. Everything is going to be fine. And I grew up, I'm a city girl, so everything is okay with me. And I go in there, right? And I'm 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 at the ATM and I put my card in, I'm getting ready to touch the buttons. And you ever get that feeling where something is staring at you behind you? Immediately turn around and I get this, with his back turned towards the snack aisle. And he's like, "What?" And I'm just like, "Okay, God, can't even get my money out, dude." Kind of thing. And we walked across the street together, and it was this. That's how it should be always. Be humble for the gifts you have.
Mm-hmm.
Understand them. Uh, some people say it's a curse. You know what? Yeah, sometimes it really feels like a curse, but it's not. It's it really is a gift. Don't use it to your advantage to
Yeah.
get what you want. That is not what this is about. This is not about using your gift to get the upper hand in every situation. If God wanted that to happen, or a great creator, or whatever you want to call it, the one that you hold higher than you, um, you would have already gotten what you wanted to get in life.
Right.
And that's not the way it should be. There are always going to be people out there that take advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, You know, I believe that there have been some serial killers out in this world that have been dark empaths and never know it. And that is how they've lured people. Um, there have been people in this world that do it to get the upper hand at work, just to beat
Right.
somebody down.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what you're given that gift for, to beat people down.
No.
You know, when they're already having a tough time.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask people that I work with, and I wish there were people that I work with in the chat tonight. There aren't any. However, my big thing at work is I I they'll know me as the hugger, that I give hugs to people that need it, you know, and they all know what I do. Every one of them at work knows what I do. And I will say, I'll just look at them and go, bring it in. Come on, bring it in. Bring it in. And we're just going to do this really deep breath real quick. And we're going to, and then I'll rub their back and I go, feel better? And they're like, yeah. I got one person that I work with who's an MA. Her name is Kelsey. I outed you, Kelsey. Yep, I'm talking about you online right here.
Oh.
Out at you. She always refers to me as mom. That I give the best mom hugs. It just comes with the territory of being an empath. We don't like empaths. A true empath does not like to see people in pain.
Hmm.
I don't like to see people in pain because that makes me feel in pain.
Right.
You will see a lot of empaths can't watch the news, don't have cable TV, don't read newspapers. You know why that is because all the suffering in the world. Yep, the suffering in the world.
You guys wear everything.
Yes,
You know,
like
you can't help it. It's just part of what the gift is. And
yeah,
you say, some people say it's a curse. It's a curse by the other definitions. It could be a good curse or a bad curse. You know what I mean? I'll discern it enough down and go, well, you don't call it a curse to somebody, but it's a good gift. If they call it a curse, it's not really a curse. It is maybe by the sense of the word, because you're giving something where you are taking and losing a little bit and helping somebody because you're taking pieces away from somebody. I mean, when you give that hug at the office, that's you're absorbing that bad energy to make that one person feel good. And now you have to go deal with that energy. Like you said,
yeah,
energy is constant. You can't destroy it. It may transfer, it moves around, it does some funky shit, but you can't. Once you do that hug, you're taking on that energy and giving that person a better feel. So
you do.
it's just one of those. It's just a gift that you embody and you hold, that you do right with. And like I said, we did one case, and I know you gave up a little piece of yourself for the good of that family. And that's the other thing you have to look at as an empath. You can be, and that's not even a dark empath with that what you did on that one case. That was just something that you had to do to reach what we needed to accomplish.
Yeah.
And to I think all like what you do, what Tim does, what we do as a group, and everything. We all lose a little bit when we leave an investigation or when we make contact with somebody. It might not be this big gaping hole. It might just be a little tink on the tip of your pinky finger that you just kind of like get your way and scratch away, but you leave absorbing or losing something from the clients. And that's why it's cautious here when you talk about people who are listening. Am I an empath? Can I go out and be an empath? You better find out from somebody who knows what they're doing for sure before you just start going and thinking you can absorb energy from somebody and help them and then deal with the energy that you're absorbing.
Yeah, I get that. Jim and I have been on cases and that were tough ones that he could see that I was just
Mm-hmm.
totally wiped after it, and he would come and say, "Sis, you okay?" That was a tough case we just had right there. I
Yeah.
said, "You sure you're okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." You know, that is why I will take some Sundays. You'll see me post on Facebook. I don't care. Listen, if your house is on fire, call the fire department. Then call me later. I don't want to hear from anybody. Don't call me with your problems. I don't want to hear. Those are the Sundays that I am so overwhelmed, like Rachel gets so overwhelmed because I haven't done an earth walk myself. Because I this is not toting my own self. I put myself before other people before myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I am now so full that I can just not take another ounce of somebody else's emotional state.
Right.
And those Sundays where you'll see that posted, I the only way you need to talk to me is if you're dying or someone in the family has died, you know. Yeah, don't talk to me, don't call me, don't message me. I don't want to hear instant messages. I am done for the day. I am totally offline. And I do that. And when I'm doing that, I'm doing earth walking. I'm giving myself grace. And I expect people that I help to give me grace back. If I'm giving you the space and the time and the grace, I expect that in return. I really do. That is the only thing. I don't expect payment. That's the simplest thing you can do for me. Is just to give me, a day where you're not calling. I love when people they will text me 9 o'clock. Now, when we get off the show, they'll text me at 9:30. They'll text me at 10 o'clock, 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And it always starts off with, I have a really quick question.
Yeah.
Can I get real close to you people and say that none of you have ever had a really quick question? This has always been at least an hour or two. And even though I am tired as hell and just would like to close my eyes, I am tentatively listening to
Right.
your one quick question that has been there for 2 hours now. I
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. That's why
I
we
just
said.
want some time.
That's
You
why I
know?
try. That's why I try and tell you that you got to take those days where you turn it off and say, "Look, I'm really, really sorry that you got your first bedroom's on fire, or you just lost your cat, whatever it may be. But I
Yeah,
need some me time, and you got
yeah,
to." It's like you always told Bailey when she was learning her stuff. She turn
yeah,
off the open sign.
yeah. Turn off the open side. I think that is the one best bit of information that I could give anybody that I was training. And Bailey would look at me and go, "Really?" And I'm like, "Just turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Turn off the vacancy sign that you have over top of your head. Turn it off.
Yep.
If you don't want people to bug you, you need to start putting up your walls.
Yes.
Putting up your walls. You know, empaths, we can be psychic vampires too. We didn't even talk about that. Oh, but we can
Yeah.
be some psychic vampires if we wanted to. And half of you walking around being psychic vampires, you didn't even know you were
Yeah.
sucking everybody's energy, away from themselves. Dang it. Don't control yourselves.
Right.
Really. Use your empathy again. There are empathic. There. Everybody has the propensity to have empathy or feel empathy, unless
Mm-hmm.
you're a serial killer. Like what was it, Arlene Warnos,
Yeah.
who was like
Arlene
sure
Warner's.
did. What was the other one? Richard Ramirez. Was it Richard Ramirez? Yeah, Richard
He was a
Ramirez.
night stalker.
Yeah, Richard Ramirez, who was like, "Oh, just cuz, you know, would you do it? Sure did." And I can't remember the other lady who beat someone to death. She led him up to her apartment and then she beat the crap out of him and then killed him and got caught. And she's like, "Sure did. And don't let that guy's family tell you that he couldn't walk because that wheelchair was just a ploy. He could walk right. He walked right up my steps to my apartment." Yeah.
Wow.
Um, yeah. Those are people who have no empathy. Those are the people who have something up here who has switched off that chemical balance
Oh yeah.
of of having some form of empathy.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, just both of us. There are empathic people, the true empaths. We swim in your emotion. We
Oh yeah.
swim in your soul. We don't know how else to explain it, but that's what we do.
Hmm.
We have very big problems of learning when to get out of the pool.
Well, that's the problem with the empath. You don't you want to get out of it, but you don't want to get out of it
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if you say not tonight, sweetheart, signs off, no vacancy, and then all of a sudden, God forbidding, something not major, but something negative or something happened there, you'd be like, they called me last night and had my phone on do not disturb, or I told them, I said, not tonight, taking a night
Mhm.
off. And it's just the way empaths are. They're open hearted, they're kind, and they want to help. Thank God there's not that many dark empaths. I don't think I've encountered a dark
Mhm.
empath. So it's at least, I mean, at least we let you know they're out there. At least you know there's two sides to the empath. It isn't just, but it's a kick ass. And when I say kick ass, I mean it drags you down and beats you up and knocks you out. Where you got to go get
Mhm.
that 24 hours of sleep in a row just to recuperate yourself. And
Yeah.
you're doing everything. You, as the empath, are doing everything you told your client. You're
Yeah.
journaling. You're walking. You're
Yes.
grounding yourself. You're doing this. It's kind of like you're reteaching a lesson with every client. It's like, oh yeah, I got to do that for myself tomorrow too. Tomorrow's my journal day.
Oh gosh, yes. We forget. We forget. Even
I
as just
know.
us as empathic teachers or gifted teachers, we are the ones that forget. Worst of all, we are good at preaching.
Yep.
We are horrible at practicing what we preach on that soapbox. Um, that's when I talked about, if you remember the live that I did about uh Carrie and Aaron pulling cards at the end of their podcast they do. They will pull shadow cards and they will pull sweary affirmations, which I absolutely love. Sweary affirmations. Um and one of the she pulled a card for me. She took volunteers and I happened to be the first one that she did. And one of it was boundaries. The card that she pulled was boundaries and was talking about how I don't know how to set boundaries with people,
No.
or I have a very difficult time with keeping boundaries. Like I'll set a boundary and then something will happen and I'll take that boundary away and step 10 feet back and put another
Mm-hmm.
line. And like Jim's like, yep, sure do. Sure. Keep it talking. Yep.
You
Yep.
ain't
Yep.
gonna
Yep.
get a negative out of me.
Yeah. And I am learning that now. It is a very painful learn. Nobody likes to hear what their missteps are. Nobody
No.
likes to hear what they're not good at. And one of them for me was practicing what I preach. I'm always preaching about boundaries to people.
And it's not that it's negative in any way. It's not or
No,
anything like that.
no.
It's it's what I call for you guys. It's saving the piece of yourself. It's
Hmm.
not letting yourself get eaten up in it because
Yes.
you very very easily could. And
Ye-
the word boundaries has you don't even know how to spell it, let alone know what it means. So
yes.
it's, but and it's when she drew that card and she said it to you, she's telling you, look, you are fine. But if you don't set
Hmm.
these boundaries, everything we talked about earlier here tonight, where it takes a little piece of you, you're losing little pieces
Yeah.
because you
Until the
can't help person A without taking in and getting a little bit of hit yourself. And if you don't know how to
absolutely.
deal with it, and putting up the boundaries is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you would scold a new empath that you're teaching that
Oh
teach
gosh,
me,
yeah.
you, you left the gate open again? Jesus Christ! What are you? What? God, you know?
That would definitely be me. That's
Yeah,
definitely me. See, he
yeah.
knows me all too well. He
Oh yeah.
knows me all too
Oh,
well.
we know each other.
Yeah, we know each other. We've been working together for almost 12 years together
I know.
on just as paranormal. This, let alone the podcasts, which are we are slowly coming up to our 6 years, 5 years, 6 years.
Shit.
December 31st.
I could. Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, this is 5 years that we've been doing this. This will
Jesus.
be our 5th anniversary.
Holy crap.
Or
Sorry,
no,
Lucy. I
six. We'll be going into our 6th year. We'll be going
Yeah.
into our 6th year.
Yeah.
So this will be our 6th anniversary for doing this on October 31st of this year.
Yeah. I'll have to pull it up. I got a folder saved for all the topics that we've covered and everything. We're gonna
Oh
have
gosh.
we're gonna have a reminisce night.
Oh God. And he's who said he wasn't sentimental? Oh God. I love you to death, bro. So we've known each other for a good 13 years.
Easily.
12 years, 13 years. Just about.
Yeah. And we connected that night when we stopped at your house and picked you up.
That was the first case I did. So yeah.
Yeah. So I remember because I affectionately said you had those clown pants.
12 years.
I said to Jeff, I
12
said,
years.
who the hell is this?
I have to dig those pants out. You know what? I can't find those pants, but I bought pants just for you, just because you said.
Oh shit!
I bought a pair of pants, and I'm gonna wear them on that occasion.
Okay.
Next week, I'm gonna wear them just for that occasion.
Yikes.
Just for that occasion.
We clicked that night.
We did.
Because when we got to that house, that was some nasty shit waiting for us at that house.
And no, it doesn't.
There was no hesitation on who needed to do what next and in what order. I mean,
yes.
Everybody did what they thought they needed to do, and everybody jumped to the right spots. It wasn't like, nope, switch spots with me this way or that way or anything. It was, and you and I have clicked.
Yep. And that's why we call each other the Wonder Twins, because now we don't even have to talk to each other.
Oh, Lucy and my kids love you to death.
Oh, thank you, Lucy. I love you guys too. Lucy is like the sister I never had.
She's also our prayer warrior. She leads that group and she gets that shit fired off when we go out on the case.
She does get all fired up. And that one time we did that investigation in Gettysburg, she was like, I can't believe the two of you.
Well, she found a little girl that the guy didn't even know about.
Yes.
Lucy goes, isn't this her right here?
Yes.
Goes, I don't know. Well, yeah, it could be. It could be.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, it could be. Y'all right. That could be. Mm-hmm.
It's your museum. This is our first night in, and my wife is pointing out one thing you should know.
Yeah. One thing. Yeah,
that to the Monterey.
With that headache thing.
I mean, it was crucial to the Monterey.
Yes, it was crucial to the Monterey. And here I am talking about cheese. I know it's not about cheese. It's not about cheese. Yeah, but that time that we were at the Farnsworth Inn, and I said, it's me. That's why you have the headache, because they're after me, not you. And I said, walk that way. And immediately she walked like, I don't know how many paces to the right. And the headache went away. And she started laughing, goes, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this.
Yeah.
And then when she came back, she had the headache again. I'm like, see, there you go. I'm evil. Sorry. You have the headache from me. She said, yes, that was wild. It was absolutely wild. Bro, do you have a goblet of knowledge?
I do, and I'm considering this to be a little piece of homework for our listeners. You don't have to
Okay.
call back. You don't have to tell us anything. But we talked about empaths. We talked about, are you an empath? Do you think you're an empath? Remember, an empath isn't intuitive. What is an
Yeah.
empath? So I'm going to give you 5 things without definition, but 5 things. Is it a myth or is it a fact about empaths? And if you think you're an empath, I want you to just think about these 5 things. Like I said, there's going to be straight one-liners, no definitions or anything like that.
You're up, Rachel. I just told
So,
Rachel, come on, Rachel.
so the first of the myth, or is it a fact about empaths? Empaths are always introverts. Empaths do not experience anger. Empaths are superhuman. Empaths are always empathetic. And empaths are weak. So you do your little bit of homework on that and understand those and see what you come up with. And that I think you'll find out a way to be honest to yourself. I mean, there's a lot of things out there online that I saw that you can take as online, here comes the air quotes, online self-assess
I'll
whether or
do
not
that.
you're an empath. Yeah. Whether or not you're an empath, there's things you can take. And then I was looking at them, and I'm like, well, you could say yes or no depending on how. And then I just put it away because it's too subjective. But just take those
Yeah.
5 little thoughts if you're curious about whether or not you're an empath or anything like that, and do a little bit of research and come up with what you think.
See, I'm not gonna lie. The minute you said superhero, my brain instantly sang the theme song to Superman.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. And I was just doing this, like, here I go, flying through the air with my cape in the breeze. It's like, oh God, that is gonna be stuck in my head all night now.
There you go.
Thank you.
It's a
Thank
gift
you.
that keeps on giving.
Yes, that's the gift that keeps on giving is Jim. Jim, the gift that just keeps on giving. Anybody have any questions before we close out the night? I know we went a little over by like 7 minutes. Anybody? I don't think anybody has any questions. Do you have anything to add, bro?
No, I like the topic. Nice pick on the topic. Like I said, I'm glad you came up with it because I never really thought about a dark empath before, but now they're out there. Now I know about them.
Yep.
So, but no, I would just also say that if anybody has a question or a topic that they want to throw at us, you know, I think they sealed my mailbox because I'm not getting any mail anymore. I'm not paying the rent on the email box. But you can reach me at spiritsearcher649@gmail.com and talk about a topic or anything like that, or add to the empath. Maybe you're an empath that wants to talk a little bit more about what we talked about tonight. I know Buffy and Tim are always open to guests, which we love. We love to have guests. You people are
yes.
yes. But I will toss your way, Buff. Anything you want to add?
No, just don't go on my inbox and say, "Have you heard of the purple empath?" Oh, how about the white empath? The green empath? No, that's yeah, no.
You can have an empath for everything.
Everything, basically.
Everything, literally.
Flora empaths, fauna
everything.
empaths, dark empaths, white empaths. Yeah, it's all pretty much the same thing. Except for different animals, like the animals, plants, all that good stuff. Any hoodles. If you will have a topic or you would like to be a special guest on the show, you can email me too. Bro's mailbox. We're gonna have to take the crowbar to it. Mine just has spookers and cobwebs in it. You can reach me at what the hell is my email address? I just lost my email address. Ghost Whisperer 318
there you go.
gmail.com. Ghost Whisperer 318 at gmail.com. Anything else, bro? Oh, don't forget, next Monday is going to be, which is Winging It with me and Jen
Oh
Dodson. Same
yes,
bat time, same bat
yes.
channel.
You and Jen all fired up onto a channel.
Yes. Yes. Anything else, bros?
Just a quick shout out to Tim. Thank you, Tim, for another good night on the
Thank
air.
you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes.
But
As always.
oh yeah, Tim's a good guy.
Yep. The captain at the helm of our
That's
show.
right. We're the two little gremlins that piss him off, but we're here.
Yeah. We're just the two unruly children. That's all we are.
If I can't log into the site to get the show going, or you got to go find a charging cord. He's like, I don't know what's going to happen tonight. One of these two knuckleheads are going to do something goofy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will do something just for laugh purposes only. Entertainment.
Exactly.
Okie dokie, everybody.
All right,
Well,
sis.
another good one in the books, bro. We did it.
Ba-bing.
Again. Ba-bing. Ba-boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's just say, as we always say, thank you to everyone. Keep it spooky, everyone. And love, peace, and chicken grease, y'all. Bye. Bye. Oh, we start with the Donald Ducks. Here we go.